Hey Reynolda, Pastor Chris here. It's been an amazing year full of surprises. You know, our mission as a church is very simple. We want you to love God by being involved in a worship service, love each other by being connected to a community group, and love the world by being connected to a serve group. You know, some of the things that God's done around here this year are just hard to explain. You know, this year alone, we sent 150 people on short-term mission trips that went to Florida and Kenya, New York City, India, Haiti. We sent a team to Eastern North Carolina to help with hurricane relief. We sent a team to Colombia. You know, it's just amazing how many of you are out there in the world serving God's people through gifts of generosity and hospitality and gifts of mercy. Our youth worshiped every Sunday and 75 of them gathered together. Our blessing service had over 1,000 people. Our Christmas Eve services had approximately 1,000 people. Our Easter weekend had nearly 1,500 people gather with us. Our attendance this year is up 6% over the year, and our giving's up almost 13%. The stories of what God has done through His church at Reynolda are completely surprising. It's been a year of surprises, and here are a few of those stories.
6 new families attended the Union Cross campus the Sunday after their children participated in the Union Cross Campus Vacation Bible School. Several of those families have continued attending, building relationships, and considering Reynolda as a church home. Some of these families are expatriates and do not speak English as their first language. A student came along to Camp Roger, a Love Out Loud project, without knowing what he was getting into. It was only his second Sunday attending our student ministries. The day consisted of fishing, hiking, a hayride, and a petting zoo. It didn't take long for it to surface that many of these activities were new to him, and for most of his life, leaders had let him down by promising to spend time with him and never following through. That student came to Reynolda looking for a church home that would keep its promise to him and invest in his life. He found it, and he is so glad he did. Several families came to Union Cross campus this year due largely to seeds sown years ago and Reynolda moving closer to them. The wife and one family attended the Village campus while a student at Wake Forest in the 90s. Now that they live in Greensboro, the Union Cross campus has become their home some 20 years later. The wife and another family participated in the Village campus student ministries as a teenager. Now as an adult, she and her husband have found a home at the Union Cross campus. Lastly, a couple heard Pastor Allen teach at their former church in the mid-2000s. They live well east of the Village campus but have made Union Cross home since it's much closer. A high school senior walked into Reynolda quietly, and over the last year she became a leader in our student ministry. In fact, her entire family has become a part of God's work at Reynolda. After spending her senior year with us, she attended our Great American Road Trip during the summer and experienced Youth with a Mission for the first time. After 3 days building the kingdom with a great team, she decided to spend the next 8 months in Youth with a Mission's discipleship training school in New York City. God is using your generosity to raise up the next generation of Jesus followers. Our fall festivals continue to grow. It has become our largest community outreach of the year. This year we handed out over 1,600 hot dogs, had 30 cars participating in our trunk or treat, and gave out more candy than we can count. We are encouraged that we are seeing faces returning to worship with us on Sundays as a result of our Fall Festival. At the Glenn High School Fall Festival, we gave out over 200 cups of popcorn as we talked to people, loved on our community, and invited them to worship with us. We partnered with a high school by providing a coloring station, several trunks for the trunk or treat, a photo booth, and a game station. We are encouraged by the continued relationship with the high school and the opportunity to share the light of Christ at this event sponsored by Glenn High School.
Well, those are just some of the amazing stories that God has written at Reynolda this year. Stories of new reach, of ways that we have shared the gospel with the world. You know, all of those stories are made possible because of your generous giving. Not just giving of your finances, but giving of your time and your talent. And so we're thankful for that. And as you consider your end of year giving, just dream with us a bit about what God might be able to do next year here at Reynolda Church as we continue to love God, love each other, love the world, and share the good news of what God has done for us in Jesus. Thank you so much for all you do to make the ministry here at Reynolda Church possible.